From Boston, Massachusetts, to Adelaide, Australia, and everywhere in between. Talking local and national sports and just about anything discussed in a tavern. Broadcasting from South Lyon, Michigan. Welcome to Easy Speak at Speakeasy330 with your hosts, Rich and Tom.
Dude, that was incredible.
Wow.
That was absolutely incredible. Even though I had FAU to win, that was an incredible finish. That JP and we were chatting about that quite a bit.
I thought the coach should have called the timeout when they were pushing it up the floor.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Even Nance said that, like, there's 2 seconds to shoot.
Yeah. Nance is freaking out, right?
Yeah, he's like, what's this? They win it. Like, oh, what a crazy finish.
Exactly.
You feel bad for FAU. Basically, to the last second. I mean, they controlled that game for the most part. I think it started at JP. You said it at like the 10-minute mark. They're starting to unravel, which it was true, but they held right to that last second. But man,
FAU just couldn't snag a rebound in the last 10 minutes of the game. It seemed like all the offensive boards for San Diego State were just piling up in the second half.
Yeah, and then after the pregame or the postgame, I should say, you had Charles Barkley, and he's like, "You cannot give up rebounds. You can't do it." No. And it just every shot at the free throw line, San Diego State would miss, get the rebound. So, anyway, hey, it was an exciting night, at least for one of those games, right? So I guess we're back again. This is 2 weeks in a row, guys. So we should give ourselves a big round of applause, right? We made it 2 weeks in a row. If you notice, there's only 3 of us on here today.
Well, we have a guest in the green room.
Oh, did he show up finally?
But he's here. He's trying to get his equipment squared away. But,
all right, well, let him get his equipment squared away. But again, another week where we've had a lot of different things go on in the sports world. That's for sure. National Championship game is going to tip off at 9. They get these odd ass times. 9 was at 9:12 or 9, right. Whatever it is. It's like, dude, just make it 9:00. Let's just tip at 9.
Nobody's going to watch.
It's going to be a very low rated. It's going to be very low rated. Let's just say that. Yeah, but we got UConn. UConn took care of business last night. Both my picks went down. I wanted Miami and I wanted FAU, but 0-2. I'll step and take on that one. I'll step on that big bag of dog shit on that one. But
so I was reading that. So UConn is going for their 5th national title since 1999. And that time period, they've had more natties than North Carolina, UCLA, Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So who's the blue blood? I guess there is a blue blood in the natty after all, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's the thing is, you think like the NIL money and stuff like that, those blue blood teams are going to be like more dominant, let's say. This year, obviously that wasn't the case, right?
Well, UConn still is, right?
but I mean, I know, but I'm saying like your number ones,
your
1 seeds, your 2 seeds, your 3 seeds, the power schools, but UConn just grinds it out year after year after year after year. So.
Well, I think UConn is not getting the credit at this point because they've kind of been, taking the back seat lately. They've had some coaching issues. I think they finally got that squared away, but they haven't really been considered one of the blue blood programs in the last few years, although they have been in there. But ultimately, I think the question that was posed was, is this producing, the best team in the country? And is that good for college basketball? And I think for me, I think it is. I think it gives these other lower echelon type schools an opportunity to be put in the limelight. And I think that's what's so great about this tournament and compares to other type leagues, like, take, for example, the college football playoff. It's going to be the same teams pretty much every year in and year out. Yeah. This way is really an opportunity for the parity to shine, and it really has in this tournament.
Well, how long do you think that FAU coach is going to stick around? I'd imagine that he's got a huge contract coming his way.
Yeah. Well, he's one of them that they've been talking about. He's been on some big programs' radar. So
dude, you got to take me off screen.
Will he be there? Will he be there? Next year? It's hard. It's hard to say, but he's definitely going to get some looks. FAU's probably going to throw some money his way to keep him, but I don't know how long it'll be able to last. So,
college basketball sucks.
Hey, I didn't know Ryan Day was going to be on our show today.
I said I was going to be in this room more often than not.
You didn't have to look at these guys. Oh man!
I think the worst part is that he's pantsless.
I got pants on.
There's a good chance he's pantsless. I'm surprised you didn't get the beard.
That's
Ryan
next week. That's next week.
Just gave him an idea.
He's got like a. I didn't know we were hanging out with fake ass Urban Meyer here today, but whatever.
Hey, Urban Meyer went undefeated versus Michigan. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, but I never thought I thought he'd never make it on my podcast.
I know.
We got the truth nugget there.
We should be honored.
Man.
Back to business.
All right, back to business, everybody. I'm trying to keep a straight face here. Okay. Drew, welcome, buddy.
Hello. Am I the only one? And I mean, I love college basketball, love the tournament. And this might sound stupid, but under 2 minutes, stop the timeout.
Well,
because every 10 seconds, commercial, timeout, play, commercial, timeout. Just play.
Well, that's the game. That's the game.
I mean, I know that, but it makes it so hard to watch. Like, I'm sick of seeing a guy dribble for 10 seconds, timeout. Oh, let's go to commercial. No.
You mean to tell me you don't like the timeout and then come back in and then timeout again? You don't like that?
No. I don't care about. Like, I know it's a part of the game and fouling. I'm okay with the fouls, but the freaking timeouts, it ruins basketball for me. I can't do it. I can't.
I hear you. All right, so so what, Drew? What is your opinion on this? What is your opinion on the fact that we really don't have like a Power 5 team in there, right? We don't have a number 1 or a number 2 in there.
It's great for the sport. I think it's great for the sport because why wouldn't people want to see different schools in it all the time? See take it to the college football playoff. What were people always, complaining about? It was always the same 4 teams. Well, now they're going to expand it to 12 and get some different teams in there. I think it's good for college basketball. FAU is a great team. Miami is a great team.
Isn't FAU going to the ACC next year?
I'm not sure. I would like them to join a bigger conference. I would. But it's great for the sport because it would get boring if it were Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, and those. It would get boring. That'd be every single year. So I like it. The parity is good for the sport. That's what's good about the tournament, at least in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so I just pulled it up here. FAU's to move to the ACC July of 2023. So next year they're going to be playing. Are they going to have the same success? Do you think going to a larger conference? Maybe in Conference USA they were, big fish in a small pond. Now they're going to probably be a small fish in a little bit of a larger pond, right?
I think it'll be a transition for sure. It'll be difficult at first, I think going up against better competition, the ACC, but it's good for them though. If they want to get more exposure, join a better conference, right?
Yeah.
I think that's always been it.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
always been my beef against Notre Dame, at least in football. Join the Big Ten.
Yeah. So, Tom and JP, why don't you guys come back on here? So we're looking at the national championship game. So now I can stop laughing. Now I'm laughing on the inside, right? But let's get down to business here. But so we're previewing the national championship game. You got UConn, who it seems like they're always kind of like a perennial a competitor in March Madness, going against San Diego State University, formerly coached by who?
Steve
Fisher. And their head coach. And their head coach was he was an assistant or on the staff back in '93.
The Fab Five.
Yep. So outside of all that, what is your guys' take on who do you think is going to prevail as the champion Monday night?
I think when you look at it, I think you got two contrasting styles. Obviously, UConn's the more imposing, dominant offensive team. San Diego State's kind of going to grind it out and try to rebound and defend. I like UConn. I think that UConn prevails. I think that San Diego State has to try to stop Adama Sanogo if they want to try to win. I don't really think that San Diego State has a key player for UConn to shut down. It's kind of more of a team effort on that side, but I like UConn big to cover.
Yeah. What you guys know what the spread opened up at?
7.
I think it's 7.5.
It was 7 this morning when I checked. I got it on the crawl. Over under is 133.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I agree with JP. It's. I think UConn's got more talent. They've got more, athletic ability. And Sononu, whatever. Is this brother play at Michigan State? Are they brothers? That big guy they have coming off the bench from? They're not. They're both from Mali. It's weird. It's interesting. But anyways, yeah, I just think they're a little bit more athletic. I can see this game being somewhat close going into halftime because San Diego State plays a really, really solid defense, especially at the 3. They take away that 3-point shot. So, but how long will they be able to make that last? And will it be enough to kind of take UConn off their game, which clearly they have been the most dominant team the last 2 weekends. So will they have enough power? No. And like JP said, there's not one guy that they have to really focus on, San Diego State. So the spread 7, to me, I think it could be as much as 10. I can see them pulling away the last 8 to 10 minutes. So give me UConn to win this thing. And you know what? They've been the better team in the grand scheme of the tournament. If they come out on top tomorrow night, they will be the best team, and it'll show.
Yeah, not to be the
dead. I told you guys last night that the winner of that UConn-Miami game was going to win it.
Yeah, clearly.
So if Miami would have won, you would have thought Miami would have taken FAU down?
Yeah, I think so. Miami's 86 point per game average. They're a high scoring team too. So
they're like a schoolyard team. Like
yeah,
it's just 5 guys out there. They're really athletic, but put together as organized. UConn showed what they really were.
Yeah, you were talking about Adam. Was it Adam Seiko? Dude's 25 years old.
Yeah.
Sanogo. Yeah.
Wow. Drew, what do you think?
UConn in a blowout.
Okay, take him right back off the. I'm just kidding. Take him right back off the screen.
No,
Yeah,
UConn's too hot right now. San Diego State's good, but UConn's beating everybody up right now. I got maybe close at half, maybe, but I think UConn just too much talent pulls away in the end.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it's a
I'm
blowout.
in agreement with all you guys. I think UConn is just. I think their guard play is going to be a lot better than San Diego State. Overall, just they're a deeper team, but
I think it's obvious who Drew's got.
John Cooper. Dude. All right, that's enough of that crap. So on from there, let's talk about football. Let's talk about our beloved Detroit Lions. Not the same old Lions. The Detroit
brand new Lions.
I'd say brand new. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on how I feel about it, and then I'm going to let you guys hash it out. But the Lions bring back Marvin Jones, a very team-friendly deal, right? $3 million for 1 year, incentives to make up to 5. It kind of goes in. Is he going to fill the role of Chark? No, but what do you guys think that does for them based off of their draft position and what they're going to choose in the draft?
I think
that you're adding a reliable receiver. I think in the last 2 seasons he's missed 1 game. His numbers are eerily similar to Chark, even though obviously Chark missed more time. But I think he's going to be a veteran presence. He'll be a reliable receiver, but I still think somewhere in those first 5 picks that they have in the first 81 that they're going to take a receiver as well.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail right on the head. It's the veteran leadership, and it's the familiarity to this team. Jared Goff having some experience with him, and so I think that's going to bring a lot into this wide receiver room. It'll help with Jameson Williams. Obviously, he's going to be probably your number 2 with Amon-Ra being your number 1. But you put Marvin there at 3, and that gives you some really good depth, really good speed. And I can compare him to Johnny Morton back in the heyday of the Lions down in the Pontiac Pussycat era when he was really the guy who, if you needed those tough 5 yards, that's who they went to. And I think Marvin Jones Jr. can do that. So, but yeah, I mean, they'd still need some depth, and they have the means to do that in the draft. But I think this sums it up pretty much. They're either going to go quarterback, which I'm leaning not likely, or heavy defense early on in this draft.
And they still have Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think that creates more of a competition within the group?
Helps. Yeah, I think it makes it stronger in that situation.
Definitely helps, because I think that Khalif Raymond kind of came on down the stretch last year, and then Reynolds, another guy, when he's healthy and in the lineup, can actually play. Him and Goff have a lot of familiarity.
Yep. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah.
What do you think bringing him back into the fold means?
I like it. The veteran, help the young guys out, experienced guy. But you need a quarterback, because if Goff goes down, I don't know who their backup is, and he didn't take any meaningful snaps last year.
Yeah, Nate Sudfeld.
So, I mean, can you trust Nate Sudfeld? I'm not saying draft a quarterback early, but there's a quarterback there maybe in the later rounds. Draft him, bring him in, but go defense too, because Aiden, get somebody on the other side to complement Aiden. I think you'll be solid.
Yeah, I think if you get somebody in the middle, I think if you go and you get an interior lineman, D-line, I think it's going to help open up. If you guys got to worry about a strong like a Aaron Donald type guy in the middle, and you can get some good bookends on there, I think that's the route that they need to go.
Yeah, I agree. And Jalen Carter could be that guy. I saw a video of over this past week of Dan Campbell was saying that one of his teammates reached out to him and was making some statements about Jalen Carter, and all Dan Campbell was like, very interesting, very interesting. So I think there's a player that.
Well, you could take that either way. You could take
Right.
that as something good, or you could take it something. I
Look
can't
at his
believe this
game
guy's.
tape. Just look at his game tape. Don't necessarily look at his pro day. I think there's a situation where maybe this guy doesn't work out as well. Look at his body of work that he's put together. I mean, he's a menace up the middle. So,
that's a risky pick.
I know he was on the list of people who have visited the Lions.
Yeah, and there was only 3 that they said that Campbell said they had it. So maybe he's one of them. We'll see.
Maybe, maybe not. So the big talk in Detroit amongst a lot of the sports news outlets was everybody is in love with Lamar Jackson. Everybody's like, the Lions need to go and throw the farm at Lamar Jackson. I can probably sit here. JP, you're a tough read on this one, but I think 3 out of the 4 are thumbs down on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on. So it's 4. So the risk of giving up draft capital to sign a player like that, for the Lions right now. I think with the way that they are building their roster, I think it is a huge. I think it's a huge gamble that the Lions are pretty much saying Goff's our guy. We're not. Yeah, we're happy. That's not to say that they are not going to entertain the idea of drafting a quarterback in the draft, right? But as their stance is right now, is Goff is our guy, Sudfeld's their backup. Squash the rumors, put them all out.
I don't want Lamar.
The tweet that came out saying yesterday, somebody joking around saying Detroit signed him. It was like, well, I know right now that's
April Fools.
April Fools.
No,
Lamar's
the question is, are you prepared to pay a quarter billion dollars to a guy that's missed 5 games the last 2 seasons? Each of the last 2 seasons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's only played in 10 games the last. Go ahead.
I think that they re-signed Sudfeld. I think that they're going to look at quarterback in this draft, whether it be Levis or Richardson at 6. Hooker with one of the 2 second-round picks. I even liked Tanner McKee. You want to go in the 3rd round, or maybe Aiden O'Connell if you want to pick one in the 5th round and develop a quarterback. You know what I mean? He did put up almost 400 yards against Michigan in the Big Ten title.
Yeah, dude, Hendon Hooker is flying up the charts, man. He is absolutely flying up the charts.
And we're at the point where a knee injury doesn't really change anybody's draftability. I think you look at maturity. Is he NFL ready? Yeah. Does he have the arm to play in the NFL? Yeah. Does he have the athleticism to make plays outside of the pocket? Yeah. I think he's got all the intangibles you want in today's NFL. So going possibly even as early as the 2nd round, I would be definitely okay with taking Hendon Hooker. And I know we've got some friends down in Tennessee that would definitely be happy to see that happen for sure.
Yeah. The guy's 26, ain't he? I think him and Jared Goff are the same age.
Yeah, but I mean that helps with the maturity factor, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Richardson either.
We're drafting.
That's Malik Willis 2.0. I don't trust him. I just don't.
We're drafting Chris Winkie up here.
Yeah, right. He was like 29, I think, when he
did he win Rookie of the Year?
He did with Carolina. Yeah, he was pretty good for a couple of years, and then
age took over.
Age caught up to him in his 3rd or 4th year.
I sent you guys a list of the first quarterback taken in the draft in the last 10 years, and it's a very interesting list.
There's only There's only 2 that really are worthy.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow and Goldilocks Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Lions have other needs. Obviously, they could be preparing for anything at this point. They have the 3rd highest draft capital, as we said. They still have cap space left, but I think they need to address another guard. I like that Osiris Torrance from Florida. He's a big guy. Linebacker wise, I like that Drew Sanders from Arkansas. He was an All-American there in his first year there, All-American in high school. A couple guys that I would look at. I think if you can shore those two things up, then I think you're in it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that we're not used to around here is being able to trust the organization. And with Brad Holmes and the brass there in Allen Park, I think those days are over. I trust that he's going to go in there and pick the right person for the team. He's not going to go after the name. He's going to bring in the right person that's going to help this team win right now. And I think we can all agree for the first time in the last 20 plus years, maybe longer, that I trust the Lions front office. And those are words that you could never say prior to the last 2 years. And that's definitely not from the previous
big one right there.
You know, the previous regime, which we are part of the EasySpeak bylaws, we are not allowed to say their names. They are referred to as the previous regime. So those were about the biggest busts outside of what Chuck Smith back in the early 80s. So good things happening with the front office nowadays. So I trust what they're going to do. I trust.
I'll agree with you on that one. It's kind of hard.
Is it a knee-jerk reaction though until they make the playoffs?
Yes.
I mean,
I want like 2 solid years of playoffs before we start.
But you have to like the direction they're in. Going 3-13-1 to 9-8, and probably the best team in the NFL the second half, or at least the last 8 games, we'll say. But they're moving in the right direction. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I want to see some consistency, but the one foot is moving forward. Where else, previous years we were knocked on our ass and could barely get up. So
they need to make the playoffs a couple seasons in a row before we anoint them Ozzie Newsome or someone in that realm. You know what I mean? But yes, they are in the right direction.
Yep.
All right. So we talked a little bit last week about Jamal Williams, him signing with the Saints for $4 million.
Yep, $4 million.
Reports come out saying that the Lions offered him a little bit north of $5 million, and he ended up going to New Orleans anyways. Do you think that's first question is do you think that his agent screwed him over on this one, and do you think that the Lions did good by picking up Montgomery to being the upgrade?
Drew, you want to go with this one?
No, you lost a locker room guy. I mean, we'll see how Montgomery is.
But do you think the agent screwed him?
Yeah, big time. I mean, it seemed like he wanted to stay here. Obviously, the city wanted him back.
Yeah.
I think that his agent just might have thought that there was more out there for him, and obviously, you're seeing that running backs aren't getting paid. I think
not at that age.
No. I mean, look at Zeke. He's going to take a big fall from grace wherever he signs. You know what I mean?
He hasn't signed anywhere yet, has he?
Not that I'm aware of. He wants to go to Philly, and I don't think Philly wants him. But Philly's lost. Sanders left Philly, so there's a spot open for him to go there. But no, I think the NFL market on running backs, I mean, it's proven that you can really plug anybody in. And I think you look at who's out there in the Chargers, their running back.
Eckler.
Eckler wants more money. He's not going to get it. And these teams just aren't going to put the money up to pay these running backs. But as far as Jamal Williams goes, I think there was a communication breakdown between the three of them, him, the agent, and the team. And you look at what Jamal did last year, 17 touchdowns, amazing. But like 60 to 70% of those touchdowns were from the 1 yard line. So overall yardage,
more like 90 yards, 90% of those,
Overall production, I mean, he's not worth the $5.5 million. And then you look at David Montgomery. He's had issues with injuries, but he's never had an offensive line in front of him that can really open up holes, and he can and produce the yardage. But when healthy, he's more versatile out of the backfield. I think he's a good parallel to DeAndre Swift, and ultimately I think they're going to have a better running game because he's got a little bit more athleticism. But it is disappointing, like Drew said, he's a locker room guy, and you just his post game, the emotions he showed in Green Bay, I think they're going to miss that in the locker room, and as a fan base, I think you're going to miss that. But you move on. It's a business, and you just hope that we can get production out of Montgomery.
If you want to compare it to anything, look at the Kansas City Chiefs last year. They had Jerick McKinnon and Isaiah Pacheco, who was a 7th-round rookie.
Right. Yeah. And he, by the end of the season, Pacheco was one of the reasons why they ended up where they were, because they were able to plug him in, and he fit into that system.
Yeah, I think honestly, the way that the direction of the NFL has actually gone over the last 10 years is back when I was younger and Tom was younger, each one of these teams, they had one showcase running back. It would be, the Bills had Thurman Thomas, the Lions had Barry Sanders, Dallas had Emmitt Smith. Some of the, a lot of these, they had like a single back.
Yeah.
Now they have gone where it's because of the way that I feel that the way that the quarterback play is, there's a lot of quarterbacks there's some that are more versatile, right? And they do provide another running element or aspect to the game. Mm-hmm. That's why that's why they're just like, well, I'll go and draft a guy in the 7th round, plug him in and give him some touches and not have to have that showcase back where you're giving it off to him, 30 times a game.
Sure. And injuries too. There's injuries is a big issue. And when you have that depth, that kind of forces teams to really go with a 2 to even sometimes 3 back system, to where it keeps them fresh and they can rotate backs in and out. But yeah, I agree with, if you're like Goff, he's not very, athletic. So you're going to rely on a back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. And I think they have that right now with the two running backs on their roster.
But they upgraded, and a lot of, the thing is locker room guy with Jamal Williams. I think Dan Campbell sets the foundation in that locker room.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
And so he's more the guy that was showcased as the locker room guy, but he's not the only one. I saw it. There's more than just it was more than just him in there that was turning that culture around. But is it a big piece that's going to be missed? Absolutely.
Yep.
Go ahead, Drew.
But I wonder who their starter is going to be, Swift or Montgomery.
It'll be Swift.
Yeah, it'll be Swift.
Swift will be the feature back.
Yeah.
Montgomery was the feature back in Chicago. And I think him taking a little load off is only going to help him, especially with his injury issues.
I know Brad Holmes said that after the Chicago game last year that Montgomery was a guy that Campbell talked about a lot, who he was impressed with when they played him. So,
yeah, that's good. So, moving on from the Lions, let's talk about our beloved, well, at least 3 of the 4 beloved Wolverines. Great signing. JP, thoughts?
Bullshit.
Yeah. So you went out and you signed the number 28 player in the country, according to 247 Sports. He's a state championship kid. He's got a good shot to repeat this year. I think he's going to bring a lot of guys with him. He's got a couple teammates down there, and Channing Goodwood and Jordan Shipp, who could eventually be package deal. I think definitely more of a chance with Goodwin, who's a legacy, whose dad played offensive line at Michigan. So I think he's a huge pickup. Obviously, you had a big one in McCarthy a few years ago, and you're kind of passing the torch to another big one, who's also eventually, going to attract other big recruits.
Looks like your buddy Tim, he's drinking the Honolulu blue and silver Kool-Aid. He says he caved and bought season tickets.
Dude, I've been down that road. I've been down that road. I'm not there yet. There's still got to be a little more there for me to go and do that. But yeah, exciting. So they got their 5-star quarterback who's going to come in. Yeah, good thing you took him off the screen, right? Because otherwise, it's already disgusting. It's making Drew very uncomfortable seeing that we're talking about Michigan here right now. But there's really nothing to talk about with Ohio State besides the fact that they lost the last 2 years to Michigan. But
yeah,
so exciting that we are bringing another guy in to groom. So what else do you got to say about that, JP?
Yeah, and they're saying now that there could be a string of other signings. I know Blake Frazier, offensive tackle from Texas, is one to watch. His dad was actually on the '97 team as a center and was a center for Tom Brady. Taylor Tatum's another one to watch. Top 50 kid out of Texas, running back. You can compare him and Jordan Marshall together, make a pretty dynamic backfield. Dylan Stewart, defensive end out of DC, top 10 kid that Michigan's starting to heat up on. Bryce West, top 50 kid out of Ohio, cornerback, another one. And they're just starting to heat it up big time. I think when you get your quarterback in the class like Jaden Davis that sets the foundation and starts building a class, I think you're going to see a lot more commitments here to come.
Yeah, because and that's the thing. It's before in high school, it was because of the social media, right? Now these kids, they connect with each other. He says, I'm going to go to Michigan. He's probably got phone numbers. He's probably had messages from guys around town in his area where he plays at. Guys are like, hey, I want to play with you. Hey, so it's a very good thing. And I think once you, like you said, you get that 5-star, you start, laying the groundwork and the foundation or whatever. Everything else
the
kind
word
of falls
is
into
that
place.
with Jaden Davis, that it's been done since November, but obviously following the season, they had the issues with Matt Weiss and him being let go, and that's who the relationship was. So really, it was him and his dad getting up to campus and building that relationship with Kirk Campbell, who's the new quarterbacks coach there. And obviously, Kirk Campbell knocked it out of the park. So they got him. They reeled him in.
Give him a raise, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So still in continuing on with the University of Michigan, Hunter Dickinson announced that he is entering the transfer portal. So me personally, I don't have anything to say about this because I'm really not a big basketball guy. So I'm going to leave it up to the other two guys to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll jump in here. I think 2 years ago, Hunter Dickinson was the name in college basketball. His ability, he was highly recruited, coming out of Virginia, I believe. Big kid who could shoot. He had lots of good intangibles. And the fear was after, his first season, he was going to jump ship. So it was a bit shocking when he decided to come back. And I thought, well, okay, we're setting up for something big here. And I really think he plateaued his freshman year because it's been almost on a downward trend ever since that season of his. And unfortunately, him going into the portal, as a Michigan fan, I'm not disappointed. I really am not. And I think he made a lot of bonehead decisions on the court, and his mouth got in trouble off the court. So I think moving on, it's almost a good thing that he transfers. Where he's going to go, I don't know. And I really think his draft stock has probably been completely taken away. So I think the only option for him is overseas. But I mean, as far as him going to the portal, good riddance. It doesn't really affect my decisions at all.
Yeah, I don't. And he's an 18-9 guy. You know what I mean? Those guys don't grow on trees in college. So it's going to hurt. They don't really have much depth behind them with, outside of Terrace Reed, who was a freshman this year, who's still developing, and
Very raw.
And then admission problems with Papa Conte, so we don't know what's going on with that. I mean, they're going to have to dig back into the portal again. And he's already said that it's wide open with the transfer portal thing. There's a few spots I like for him. I think Notre Dame.
Kentucky was one I heard this morning that his name's popping up in Kentucky. Another one and done program.
Yeah. But for me, it would be Notre Dame, who just signed a Penn State coach. I think he'd be a good fit there. Duke, who's both their big men just went to are entering the draft, and
Lopowski.
Yeah, and I also like St. John's because I think look out for Rick Pitino to make a splash there in New York.
Yeah, well, he'll want a name, and that would definitely help him. But I think we talked about this before with Michigan. Is it a concern as a fan that they really haven't had much success the last couple of years? Recruiting wise, they have, but you look at the kids they're bringing in, specifically Jet Howard, who declared for the draft, a one and done. Is this the program we're looking at moving into the future? Somewhat like Kentucky's been experiencing the last couple of years, with players that are coming in because they have to. They don't have a choice, so they're doing the one and then they're out. Is that something that we're looking at moving forward with the Michigan basketball program?
No, I think that if there's any indication of the teams that are in the Final Four this year, it's a huge concern because you're losing guys on a yearly basis and you're constantly having to reload. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you don't get any you don't consistency and like camaraderie with the team.
Right. So yeah, it's a huge concern. I think that Juwan did most of his work and got that contract extension done with Beeline's guys who were still on campus there. So yeah, I think moving forward, it's going to be interesting to see what they do next year. I think the cupboard's pretty bare, and I think you'll see Kobe Buffkin declare soon too.
Yeah, I don't see him sticking around, but yeah, I mean it's going to be a portal game, for Michigan coming into next year to kind of fill up some spots.
Filling holes, huh?
Most definitely. Filling holes.
Filling holes.
Yeah.
Filling holes.
So all right. We got about 18 to go. I want to touch a little bit on the Tigers, their exciting start this year.
Yeah.
I tell you. We need
16-2 being outscored through 2 games. At least they mustered two runs yesterday, but my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, from a team that led the Grapefruit League in home runs to a team that they can't.
I will say though, McClanahan and Elflin are two aces though at the same time.
It doesn't matter.
But what's the point of pitching if you can't frickin' hit the ball and score?
Well, I'm speaking to Tampa's pitching.
Oh, well,
Tampa, and that's the thing is Tampa is always great with their pitching.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they find Blake Snell. They find these guys in.
They find them early and they get them wrapped up early.
Yeah,
and
we haven't been able to manifest anything.
Yeah, exactly. And they're an organization that really is underrated. I think people judge them by their stadium and the lack of people in attendance.
They need a new stadium.
But they're not going to be in Tampa much longer. My
dad's actually in attendance today.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. All right.
He didn't pay too much to watch that putrid team.
Well, he's not. Well, you got to understand, he didn't pay the money to watch the Tigers.
They actually sold out on Thursday, he said.
They don't put people in the upper deck. It's closed off.
Yeah.
It's brutal. And
the stadium's in the hood.
I picked Tampa to win the East this year, and like I do every year because of their ability to pitch and their ability to lowest.
What baseball are you watching?
Oh no, I like Tampa.
Tampa to win the East.
Yeah,
they're expected to be a wild card team this year.
Pitching
I'll take a wild card, not win the East.
The Yankees can score 10, but when you give up 11, it's not going to work out.
Wild card. I don't
like the Yankees.
Beat the Yankees.
That's a hill I'll die on right there. I'll die on that hill.
See.
They will not win it.
In October, we'll revisit.
I mean, who do you got? Randy Rosarina and Aesop Paredes. That's it.
What about the Orioles?
Yeah.
Orioles are good.
Yeah.
There's another
Yeah.
team that can score, but they don't have pitching.
Need to find pitching.
Yeah, that East can put up numbers, but who's going to be better in pitching? I like Tampa. Give me the Rays.
Don't give me that.
Yeah, I know
All
it's
right.
depressing.
I'll take the Blue Jays.
Really?
Tom's dying on that hill today.
Yeah, he's dying on it.
Well, it's depressing about the Tigers. They got what? One more in Tampa. And then you go to Houston for 3. You're looking at a solid 0-6 start to start the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know
Great
what?
fucking job.
And then you come home against the Red Sox, right?
Yeah. Yeah, then you come home and you get spanked by them too. But, here's the thing is I hope that it's going to be a long season. I mean, we're all in agreement that it's going to be an extremely long season. If the pitchers can stay healthy, then it's not a pitching problem, right? It's definitely some other thing. Can't hit the ball, right? Torkelson, would you go 0 for
problem?
Would Torkelson go 0 for 4?
Did you see Turnbull's performance last night?
No, remember we were busy watching the basketball.
We had bigger things to do.
Yes.
I hope Torkelson's not a bust, but
oh yeah, boy. Yeah, I think the three of us are all in agreement. It's
I got
burning our eyeballs too.
I got some paint to bring over, Drew. We need to paint that wall.
Apparently, we have a fellow Buckeye in our presence. Mr. Tim is chiming in on Ohio State, and he's a big fan of Drew.
Darn right he is.
I gather.
Must be delusional. So the Tigers. The Tigers are going to be a big one to have to deal with.
So
now, the rule changes, I hate them. I can't stand them.
The rule changes are stupid.
Oh, I can't stand them. I could take bigger bases. I could take the bigger bases, and I could kind of see a little bit on the pitch overs to first. This making it like some pitchers it works for, right? Scherzer, Verlander, they're quick. Everything is quick. Everything, but it's brutal, dude. I was watching the Red Sox and the Orioles game opening day, and the Red Sox pitcher threw his last warm-up pitch with like 28 seconds left. Before they have to start the inning, because he threw it at 28 seconds and not before 30 seconds left. The first batter that came up started on a 1-0 count.
Yeah, fucking stupid. Because what if you get to the playoffs and let's say it's like, I'll say like ALCS, game 7, 2 outs, building all that up. And like part of the fun is the tension and the drama. Like, oh, what is it going to be a strike? Is it going to be a hit? And then what if for some reason the pitcher doesn't get it out before the clock goes out? Oh, go to first base.
Well, yeah, the base is loaded, and he walks in and run off some bullshit.
Well, you hope that come playoffs, these pitchers are more antiquated to it, and this situation.
No, get rid of it. Get rid of it in the playoffs.
The bottom line is they want to make a product that is appealing to the non-baseball fan. They want to bring more eyeballs to Fox on Saturday afternoon, Apple TV on Friday. Peacock, they don't care about the purists or the elitist baseball fans. They care about
going crazy.
They care about the fans that occasionally tunes into a game. And as a baseball fan, I don't have a problem with a 3-hour game, but I understand that the majority of this country is not going to sit through that. So they're appealing to it. Baseball's been on a downward trend for many years now, both ratings and at the ticket booth. So they're looking to try and get themselves back in that market. But
my whole thing is, if you go to a baseball game, you're not going for a baseball game to say, oh, cool, this is going to be done in an hour and 45. Like, I got to believe if you're going to a baseball game, you're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, but
I mean,
these rule changes. Yeah, I do too, but that's what Manfred's not thinking that. He's thinking with dollars, and that's why these rules have come into play.
Tom, you hit it on the head. I think Manfred's going off of data to cater to a group of people that don't even watch baseball.
Yeah.
There's some stats that opening day stats. So 10 out of the 17 games or whatever on opening day were under 3 hours, with 7 of those 10 under 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, they said the time of game was down 21 minutes.
Yeah.
Each game.
Which
I'm all for making baseball faster, but they went about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I think
the pitch clock
rule has affected
get rid of commercials.
Too.
Yeah. Speaking of changes, our beloved Comerica Park has gone through some changes here. I will say it's probably the Wish version of new changes, because they just put a new fence up and left like just empty space in center field. But obviously they're trying to have Miggy go out and bang and get him a couple more home runs to add to that number that's still out there in left field. Comerica's always been known as, a cavernous center field, and that wall in right field is, always been a little bit tough. Here we go again. You're trying to cater to a different type of a game, and do you think that's going to help? And I don't know if it's going to help the Tigers, but it could backfire on them. But is it a good move to move the fences in and to lower them?
Now, let me tell you this. This is not the first time that they've moved fences in.
No, Juan Gonzalez, they had to move it in when
they moved the fences in. Remember, when they first opened up, the bullpen used to be in right field.
Yep.
So they limited that, added seats, and then they moved the bullpen over to left field and moved the left field in because the park was so damn big.
Yeah, I mean,
so now, it only makes, sense that they need to do that
before they move in.
What's that?
I think the Giants haven't.
Power alleys were what, $3.95 before they moved them in.
Oh yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
they were not picking players that played to the advantages of the ballpark. I guess they were at some point with the pitching. So, but
But we only got about 8-10 minutes left. So
at the rate we're going, it won't matter what the hell the fences are this year.
Yeah, because everybody else is going to hit it out
balls over him anyways.
Yeah, for sure. So,
so there was a comment that popped up in there to ask if we'd ever talk about UFC. We have in the past, and that's definitely not a topic that's out of anybody's wheelhouse on here. So,
did John Jones just lose? I think I saw something. He just lost last night or something. I don't know, but yeah, we'll get into it when there's.
I haven't watched UFC, and God knows.
No, John Jones won his last fight against
somebody else. I saw. I don't know, but yeah.
But let's talk about the thing that really interests me the most, and that's so
food.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I love a good hamburger.
Yeah.
And according to JP, that I found out today that
makes a good hamburger.
Pretty good at making a hamburger myself.
Rich Jasper is elite burger making abilities on the Blackstone.
So
he's
I want to go over
to handling the meat.
Okay.
Burgers.
All right. So this topic was brought up, and it was just like, what's the best burger? Well, here's the thing with burgers is there's different classifications of burgers. You got your fast food burgers, right? Then from your fast food burgers, you have traditional bar burgers. Then you have smash burgers. Then you have, I would say, the burger that would probably be the kind of like a specialty burger, I guess if we'll call it that. So that's the rate that I'm going down in this. So smash burgers, Crazy Jim Blimpie in Ann Arbor, by far. Who said gross?
Because you said the word Ann Arbor.
This guy said gross? This guy wouldn't know what a good burger was if it came up and slapped him in the face.
No, I'm down for a good burger.
Yeah, boy.
So can we classify getting smashed burgers in there too?
Yeah, I mean, normally if you're smashed and you want a burger, normally it's at a bar, right?
So the one I went with is the getting smashed burger, and it's obviously a Tellway burger.
Oh.
What time? What time are you consuming that
So
burger?
that window is normally between midnight to 5 a.m.
So that would go with kind of like on the lines of like a Bates burger for those who are from
Cattleman's
Livonia.
beef.
It would be similar to Greens and Braise. It's like kind of in that realm is what Tellway is.
Yep.
Onions and mustard coming out of your pores.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, dude.
For 3 days.
Makes for a good fart.
Yeah, you smell gross for the next month and a half.
Or mattress ripper in JP's games.
Yeah.
So you know, really, like if you talk about like smash burgers, obviously that's a certain classification. But
wow, Derek, the entrepreneur, coming in strong with a old school reset top hat.
Top hat. Wow.
Woo.
Well, Bates and Livonia, Carter's Allen Park. Yeah, those are really good ones. I've had them both. So for like a bar burger, I haven't been there yet, but everybody's been telling me to go try Falls Creek Lounge in Dearborn. I want to say it's like Outer Drive in Carlisle. That's one that everybody keeps telling me. But bar burger, I mean, Miller's is still always up there for me. Miller's and Mason's in Livonia.
Overrated.
Which one's overrated?
Miller's.
Well, Miller's new ownership. Haven't been there since.
You're overrated.
I know.
Drew, what do you?
Miller's are just alike, I guess.
What's your go-to burger? What's your favorite burger?
Wendy's.
I mean, no. In all honesty, like Rusty Nail,
Dennis Blunt's food truck that he brings to contract.
Rusty Nail and Canton's got great ones, but I mean, I might be being biased here, but I think the best burger I've probably ever have is up north, probably 4th of July weekend. We got like 2 of those Blackstones, those flat tops, and that'll be 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning after an entire day of drinking. Nothing's better than that burger at like 2:30 in the morning after you've been drinking all day.
What
I thought you were going to say Tallies or something.
What about a burger in the Detroit area? Sticking with the theme.
Yeah, we're talking about like go out to eat and get a burger.
Not the fur burger that you're eating in the woods.
What's wrong with eating in the woods?
Turd burger.
Best burger in Detroit?
Yes. It doesn't have to be in Detroit. It's somewhere in this
Metro
area.
Detroit.
That's tough.
Oh, yeah, Tim. Mott's in Southwest. Mott's is another great one.
That's tough. But I would have to go.
Mott's in Redford.
Fuck, I can't even think of one right now. There's too many good ones.
All right, JP going on next
like
one.
I said, though, Rusty Nail, Canton, Michigan. I don't know if you guys have ever been there.
Yeah, I've had that.
It's a good burger.
Okay.
Solid burger there. Never disappoints me. I'll say there. There's too many good ones to try. I got to try more of them.
Pontiac, Lakin, and Waterford, Michigan.
Yes. She's
a resident Waterford expert, Melissa. JP or Derek Jasper is a fan of Rusty Nail as well. So
the Pontiac Lake Inn, yes,
yeah.
Great spot. I had that for the first time about 2 months ago.
JP, what do you think?
I want to try is the Tasty Burger.
Yeah, I've had a Tasty Burger.
Yeah,
before.
I've heard that. Yeah,
I've had Tasty.
My sister Jody, who hopefully she's watching right now, that was her recommendation was the Tasty Burger. Yep. So.
Yeah, the only thing, Tasty's for me is considered like underneath the specialty one because they got so many, like they got so many like different toppings on there, like nacho cheese, and they'll put Doritos on top and a bunch of other
sounds
stuff.
Like a basic burger.
It's like a novelty burger. We'll call it a novelty burger. But if you're just talking like lettuce, tomato, onion, pickle burger.
Royale with cheese, that's an honorable mention.
Yeah, Royale.
Mine, and I have not been there since I lived in the area. So I don't know if it's still as good as it was. But Sandy's on the beach in Redford. That place, they'd have the pickles and the onions right on the table in the old school, like Tupperware containers.
That's like Miller's right there.
It's such a good, flavorful burger. That was my go-to. But we had a really good, just like we have today in this segment here. We got a good response. I put a post on the Twitter page, and we've got one of the biggest ones was our good buddy Chef Dave Hubbard, Rich, from the butchery. The 3B in the O'Brien was mentioned.
Yeah.
The old Detroit Burger Bar, which there's like 4 or 5 in the Detroit metro area.
Yeah,
that was Detroit Dan. Detroit Dan out in Arizona gave that one. We had a Gray Ghost. Detroit was one that was mentioned. Our good buddy Sports Jim mentioned the Basement Burger. Said that was his birthday joint all the time. Something tells me he was mixing in a joint or two with that burger, and so we had some good entrances there from the Twitter post that
now are you guys
definitely go check out.
Are you guys fans of a fried egg on a burger?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I believe 3 a.m. burger at Vincent. If you're ever out in like the Royal Oak, Berkeley area, go to Vincetta's Garage. 3 a.m. burger, outstanding.
Now, what do you think about peanut butter on a burger?
I'm all for
I've had it. It's good.
Our hometown Witch's Hat Brewery makes a fabulous burger with peanut butter and grape jelly, and it sounds. They also put like a jalapeno spread on it, but
it's a jalapeno jelly on there.
Yeah, that was
not bad.
That was NFTS, so I didn't go with that. But it was. I really, I was thinking outside the box that night, and it was really good. So
my go-tos are normally bacon or a fried egg.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh,
we got lots of ideas here, and obviously we're gonna, pick a place at some point. We're gonna go and we're gonna try out the burgers, and we're gonna record it, and we're gonna bring it back to you guys and kind of give you our review. So,
dude, so funny. Chef Dave brought that up about those burgers. I've had the 3B burgers. We bought them and cooked them on the Blackstone. Also had the O'Brien burger, which is Jim O'Brien from 94.7. It was him. Then I also had the Blaine Fowler burger. That was pretty damn good too.
99.5, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good idea, Derek. Yeah, we'll have to put something like that together. Like a top maybe 16.
I'm also a fan of the chicken sandwiches too.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Well, that could be another review on another episode.
I haven't had it yet, but I've heard Fat Daddy's is pretty damn good on their chicken sandwich.
Daddy's good. That's in my neighborhood.
You ever had Sidecar Slider Bar? There's one
overrated.
Farmington.
Overrated.
Terrible.
You don't like them?
Just like Green Dot. Overrated.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Way overrated.
Terrible. Next one.
It's terrible.
Terrible. No. So yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe we'll do the NCAA of burgers. We'll have to get. I don't know if we're going to be able to get 64, but I'm down. I can do
maybe
it.
16.
I think we got to put a 3B burger on there from the butchery because I still haven't tried that one yet.
Oh yeah, we need to take a trip out there.
That last storm, they've had a lot of damage to the roof. They haven't been open. They haven't been able to open back up yet.
Yeah.
I know that they had taken they probably very stressful. So I think they took some time off and actually took the family on vacation.
And his wife just had a baby recently. So yeah.
But I'm down. I'm down. Maybe try to pull the Twitterverse and maybe make it a Saturday where we just drive from place to place to place to place. And
I'm down with that.
And we're going to have our good buddy, the entrepreneur, Derek Jasper, present with us.
Oh, he's in.
He
might take some extra cholesterol medicine, and like I would too. So
I think we all heartburn medicine.
You might have to double up on that one. We don't want to. But yeah, no, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Fun segment. And
I'm
look
down.
forward to more non-sports related things that we're going to throw at you, whether it be crazy off the wall news of the world or food reviews. We're going to try to appeal to not just the sports fan. So maybe draw in somebody that could care less about the previous hour that we've talked. But look forward to some really fun, cool things moving forward. So,
all right. So I will go on the record and say this before we start this next segment that, and I know Tom always pokes fun. No, Suzanne's Bar and Grill is not my favorite burger place. Fuck that place. That place can kiss my ass. Read my bio. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Jasper is not welcome into Suzanne's Bar and Grill. I think they have a face scanner at the front door for this reason, to make sure that he and anybody associated that has the Jasper last name guilty by, so they're not welcome either. So she's made that very clear, which, you know what, who cares?
Maybe next we'll talk about pizza and Tom's favorite, Pins.
Oh, hands down.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Hands
That's terrible. You wouldn't know what good food was if it came up and slapped you in the face.
Hey, Pins is FPS. Let me tell you that much.
No, it sucks. It sucks. All right, let's go. Let's get our picks in.
Well, I'll go first. I know everybody last week went down the NCAA route, but I'm testing some new waters in my my sports fandom here. And as of the last probably, almost year, I've been involved with another podcast, and I've been working with one of the co-hosts as far as NASCAR is concerned. So I've been kind of like pushing the envelope with that a little bit
for a while.
And so this week, actually today in about an hour and a half, the race gets underway in Richmond. I'm going to go
Martin Truex Jr.
This driver, somebody watched the episode Thursday. This driver has won 3 races in the last 10, and it is Martin Truex Jr. He's a plus 900. I like him. He's come really close the last couple of races, and I look for him to finish strong here, which at a small track that he's done really well. And Martin Truex Jr. plus 900 ain't my money.
Yeah,
not my problem.
So I'm going to go back to the NCAA tournament, but I'm going to turn over to the women's side.
Oh,
I have
the ladies,
the GOAT.
So Caitlin Clark's been on a historical run here. She had 41 points, which is a record in semifinal game. They're going up against LSU. They just knocked off the number 1 seed South Carolina, who South Carolina handled LSU pretty handedly. I got Iowa minus 3.5 at minus 105. Women's.
Nice.
That game, I'll say it right now, that game will have better ratings than tomorrow night's men's game.
Because of Caitlin Clark.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
Yep. We'll just say Caitlin Clark is trending number 1 on
the record.
You're what?
We're keeping receipts here. I'm 1-0 from last week.
All you are.
Except for the turd at the bottom corner.
Me too. Me too.
You talking about this guy right here?
I'm talking about the Buckeye.
Yeah.
Buckeye.
All right. So my ain't my money, not my problem. I'm going to go to the Masters.
Oh.
I'm going to go to the Masters.
Derek Jasper will be happy. He was just asking about.
Oh, was he?
The Masters,
I didn't see it across the screen. So I'm going to go with the Masters. I'm going to take Rory McIlroy plus 750. I think he's going to do it. But that ain't my money.
Not your problem.
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
You know what? I got FanDuel up right now. I'll put money on it.
Put a couple dollars on it.
Put a couple dollars.
Hey, Drew, it's not your money, nor is it your problem. What's your pick this week?
Well, seeing as I didn't really pay attention to lines really this week, I got nothing, unfortunately.
You don't want to make a pick for tomorrow's game?
So hold on a second here. Hold on. So I'll
make a pick.
You have 7 days to find one bet.
This is every week. This is every
I
week.
know.
This is
All
the
you got to
new
say
segment.
is money line. I'll take them.
So who's your
All
money
right.
line pick for the game tomorrow, Drew?
Money. I'll go UConn.
There you go.
Okay, so that's like minus 250. So
You better put some money up to win some money.
But, yeah, you got to put a lot of money up.
a couple
I'll
grand.
go money line UConn.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So next
Cool.
week we expect preparation in the
I
Ain't
got
My
you.
Money, Not My Problem segment.
Ain't my money.
You're on the clock.
I got you.
All right. Well, hey, good show, fellas.
Great show.
Yeah, Tim. I agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, he's
Definitely, Tim.
Yeah, definitely. So, anyway, hey, thanks guys for making it out on a Sunday at 1:00. Next week is Easter Sunday. I got no plans. I don't know about you guys.
I can make a 1 o'clock show.
Yeah.
What about
I should
you?
be able to-
What
I
about
should be
you?
able to make
What about you, Ryan Day? Can you make it?
My mom's having people over for Easter. My attendance is mandatory. But
So,
I'll
see you at 1:00.
yeah, I'll try and sneak out. I'll just tell her I got to go home and I'll take a to-go box.
There you go.
Perfect.
There you go.
We're all in
All right.
agreement.
Show.
A
Cool.
special Easter hide the egg version of the Easy Speak next Sunday at 1:00.
There we go.
All right, guys.
We'll see you next week. Thanks for
See you next
watching.
week.
Don't forget to like and follow us on all the platforms. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to another episode of Easy Speak at Speakeasy330. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We look forward to catching you right back here next week for another fun-filled episode of Easy Speak at Speakeasy330.